Welcome to Blessed Self-Healing. I'm Carisa Jones, and today's topic is element number 2. Last time we got together, we spoke about oxygen being element number 1, and now water being element number 2. Without water, which makes up most of our body, we wouldn't be around or in existence. So, let's talk about water. People say filtered water, distilled water, reverse osmosis, Brita filter. What type of water is good for the body, and why is water so important? If almost 70% of our body is made up of water, then we need to replenish that water on a regular basis. I have many people come to me and ask me questions about water, and there's a couple very important facts I'd like to share with you. Number 1, water is imprintable. Many years ago, quite a few scientists have set their works and showed us that you can set imprints with water with simple words. Dr. Emoto is one great example, and he took samples, little water samples, and put labels of greetings and love and gratitude and angels, and he froze each one of the water samples. And when they came out, they were like beautiful crystalline snowflakes. And then he just took a few samples and decided to put words like death and destruction and greed and fear. And when he put those type words on water samples, they actually came back being muddy brown. You couldn't recognize any crystalline structure, and they definitely weren't a beautiful snowflake. So there's something about our blessing, our intention, kind words, good words, imprinting water. And all day long we use our words, and we must remember that we are such a big percent water that our words are important. Now when we think about the earth and we think about what type of water God put on this earth, most of the earth is covered with salt water. So why is salt water more important than regular water? Well, if we think of our crying and we think of our tears, our sweat, our pee, it's all got salt in it. All of it has salt in it, and the salt water is what makes our body function. So when people say what type of water, I'm not so particular about distilled versus reverse osmosis versus bottled water, but I am very particular that we need to have salt water. And that's not Morton, bleached salt, processed salts. That is actually sea salt, Himalayan salt, something from the earth, something that can be beneficial in mineral content. That's the type of salt I'm talking about. So what can we do with it? Eat salt, put more salt on your food, put more salt in your water as you're drinking, a little pinch here or there, or just eat salt. Now, people with high blood pressure will say, oh, the doctors told us, no salt, no salt. You hear it on the television, you hear it in the radio, you see it in ads that you should have no salt. That's for if you have a high blood pressure or if you have somebody with a heart condition. Now, the rest of us who don't have heart conditions or high blood pressure must understand that we are the salt of the earth. God paid people in the Bible with salt. The soil is full of salt. He wouldn't be wrong. He wouldn't poison us and put salt in all the oceans. So there must be a very divine reason and a very important reason for us to use our Himalayan and sea salts every day, many times. Every time you pee, you need to replenish yourself with salt. So we are the salt of the earth. Make sure that that is something that you're adding into your meal every single day, and not just 3 times a day when you're eating because you pee more than 3 times a day. I say gargle with salt water, brush your teeth with baking soda and salt. Potassium and sodium are the 2 different salts. Your body will take on one versus the other if you're missing one. So if you are low in a sodium salt, your body will retain potassium. If you're low in potassium, your body will retain sodium. Our bodies need to have a certain count of an element, and we can't live without salt. So you couldn't cry, you couldn't pee, and you couldn't sweat. That's how important salt is. So this quick segment that we're doing right now is the importance of salt. Please, please remember to add that back in your diet if you haven't. Get in the ocean, soak in salt water. talking about salt being important in our bathtubs, Epsom salt baths, soaking your feet in salt water. Why, when you cut yourself, soaking a cut in salt water to help disinfect it. If you have a bee sting, put it in some nice warm salt water to soak the stinger out. Salt water, get in the bathtub. Kidney stones. If you get in the hot bath with salt water, the kidney stones, and you stay in the bath for a couple hours, not just 10 minutes, think of yourself as a tea bag you have to soak. The kidney stones, when you're peeing while you're in the bathtub, they will be dissolved and they will actually come out of your body if you stay long enough and you work in salt water. So our body does miraculous things with salt. Bless yourself and imprint your body, your water body, and make sure that you're in your water, that we're adding good salt. So please, please imprint yourself with kind words all day. I suggest to some people on their water bottle to put little stickers: happiness, harmony, love, have a wonderful day, winner, absolute fantastic, miraculous miracle maker, genius. So take your marker, your Sharpie, and write all over your bottled water. And again, when we have our own bottles, please make them glass, and please make them stainless steel, not aluminum, and don't drink out of plastic. So our water is the source of life. This is our number 2 element, water, that we're talking about, and it is vital for our life. So take your water everywhere with you. Don't depend on other people's drinking fountains. We don't know if there's a filter, when the last time they changed that was. When the children go to school, make sure you send a few bottles of water, one for the PE class, one for the lunchbox, and have them keep it out all day. You might have to talk to the teachers, but it's really important that we understand 8 glasses of liquid that should be not a caffeinated beverage, a real liquid: water, tea, herbal tea, juice, a real natural juice, something that is water-based, at least 8 glasses a day. Please add that in. When you wake up in the morning, you're dehydrated. 2 tall glasses of water every morning. That's the way you're going to start off your day right. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful day.